Do you remember our last episode on Zhang Youxia's purge? After that, an unusual letter emerged in China. Today, we're going to unpack what it reveals. This wasn't just any leaked document. This was supposedly written by Zhang Youxia, China's #2 military leader. Zhang Youxia, vice chairman of the Central Military Commission. Xi Jinping's childhood friend and right-hand man for years. The letter surfaced right after Zhang disappeared from public view. No official explanation. Just gone. Complete silence. According to sources, Zhang wrote this knowing he'd be arrested. Told someone, if they come for me, release this. And what's in this letter? A complete takedown of Xi Jinping from his closest military ally. Today, let me walk you through what this letter says and why it matters so much right now. Okay, so let's get into the actual contents. What does Zhang say in this letter? First, the power structure. Zhang writes, Xi has turned the chairman responsibility system into a tool of one-man dictatorship. That's the opening punch. The chairman responsibility system means the military chairman has final say on decisions. That's normal in most countries. But Zhang says Xi twisted it. Now Xi micromanages everything. Every promotion, every strategy, every military decision goes through him. Zhang writes, he acts like a genius expert on everything. Even Mao didn't control the military this tightly. Think about that. Mao Zedong, who launched the Cultural Revolution, and Xi's control is worse according to his own general. Zhang says Xi has turned the People's Liberation Army into his private army. Not the party's, not the people's. His soldiers are made to sing songs praising Xi personally. Be Xi Jinping's good soldier. Like a personality cult? Zhang writes, it's exactly like the Cultural Revolution, but we're in the information age now. Nobody actually believes it. He says he's been in meetings where everyone gives Xi standing ovations. But inside, everyone feels resentment and fear. Zhang compares it directly to North Korea. Xi entering a room, everyone standing and clapping, exactly like Kim Jong-un. Now we get to the really scary part of the letter. Xi's plan to invade Taiwan. Zhang writes that Xi saw Russia's Ukraine invasion as a window of opportunity for China to grab Taiwan. While the West is busy with Ukraine, why not launch a surprise attack on Taiwan? That was Xi's thinking. But Zhang and other generals said absolutely not. They analyzed the military situation and said this would be suicide. Zhang cites General Liu Yazhou's analysis. Chinese forces might not even reach Taiwan's shores. Hundreds of thousands could drown. Japan would immediately join the war. U.S. forces would destroy China's coastal military bases within just a few hours. China's overseas assets would be frozen worldwide. Massive war reparations demanded. The Communist Party itself could collapse completely. Here's something chilling. Zhang writes that U.S. military showed Chinese generals detailed photos of their own military bases, locations of nuclear facilities, even where top Chinese leaders hide during crises. Everything. The message, we see everything. That's psychological warfare at the highest level. Your enemy shows you exactly how they'd destroy you. Can you imagine? The letter reveals what happened at the third Plenum meeting in July 2024. This is where things exploded. Zhang and Xi had a massive confrontation about military personnel decisions, about putting China on a war footing. Zhang says Xi wanted to use the Ukraine war as a time window to attack Taiwan. Start preparing immediately. Zhang and Liu Zhenli opposed it strongly. They argued this would lead to national catastrophe. China would be destroyed. The argument got so heated that Xi Jinping had a medical episode. He had to be rushed to the hospital. The entire third plenum was on the verge of cancellation. Senior party elders had to intervene to calm things down. Zhang claims there was a secret deal made. Xi agreed to step down at the 21st Party Congress. Power would be shared. Kai Qi handles party affairs. Li Qiang the government. Zhang Youxia the military. Collective leadership restored. They call it the Beidaihe Agreement. But Zhang says Xi has no intention of keeping this promise at all. Zhang's letter also attacks Xi's Russia policy. That famous unlimited partnership with Putin that shocked the whole world. Zhang says they completely overestimated Russian military power. Everyone thought Ukraine would fall within just a few days. Instead, Russia got bogged down completely, exposed as weak to the entire world, and China supported them publicly. This turned all of Europe against China. Both Russia and Ukraine ended up resenting China, Complete strategic failure. Zhang visited Russia in 2023. He says despite warm public ceremonies, the actual meetings were ice cold. Very tense. Russia was using Chinese support but giving nothing real back. Classic exploitation, and China fell for it completely. Zhang writes, if we attack Taiwan, same tragedy. Han Chinese killing Han Chinese. Brother killing brother in civil war. The letter ends with Zhang making 4 specific demands directly to Xi Jinping. These are his final words. First, keep your promise. Step down at the 21st Party Congress. Honor the Baidai agreement you made. Second, do not start wars under any circumstances. The military exists to protect people, not satisfy personal ambition. Third, respect international order. Never make America your enemy. That would be suicide for China, and everyone knows it. Fourth, implement real democratic reform. If you love the people, give them back their power. Return to democracy. And then Zhang writes something haunting. Remember, the gods are watching from 3 feet above your head. Ancient Chinese saying. Zhang admits he could launch a military coup. He has the power, but he won't because it would trigger civil war. He writes, I won't resist when they arrest me. History will judge who was right. The people will remember. He says they'll accuse him of treason and corruption. Make up all kinds of charges. Maybe show fake evidence on TV. But Zhang says, I'm already guaranteed state-level treatment. Why would I betray my country? It makes no sense. Okay, so that's what the letter says. Now here's the big question. Is this letter actually real? The honest answer is we don't know for sure. It surfaced through overseas Chinese media. No way to verify directly. Some experts are very skeptical. They point out factual problems. Zhang and Xi didn't actually grow up together. The letter says they're brothers from the same compound. But public records show they lived in different areas. One Chinese commentator named Li Linyai says the tone sounds like democracy activists wrote it, not a real general. He compares it to the Song Ping letter from 2022. That was also probably fake, but reflected real concerns. Someone might have written this using Zhang's name to criticize Xi. A political weapon disguised as a personal letter. So maybe it's completely fabricated. Maybe Zhang never wrote a single word of it. That's definitely possible. But here's why experts still pay attention. Even if fake, it perfectly captures real conflicts happening inside China. Taiwan defense researcher Shen Mingxi called it excellent analytical material regardless of authenticity, because it fits so well. He says the letter explains exactly why Xi would purge Zhang and Liu, what issues they fought over. Another commentator, Tang Jingyuan, says, real or fake, the content describes actual reality inside China's power structure today. He says it signals there's a life-or-death power struggle between 2 centers, Xi and the military leadership. The fact that this letter is spreading widely itself is politically significant in China. People are sharing it everywhere. In authoritarian systems, rumors are how people express what they can't say openly. It's their only voice sometimes. Whether Zhang wrote it or not doesn't really matter. What matters is millions of Chinese people believe it's plausible. So what's actually happening inside China's system right now? Let's look at the hard evidence we can verify. First, the purges. They're real and they're massive. Every single rocket force commander since its founding has been purged. The rocket force controls China's nuclear weapons. This isn't about corruption. This is about Xi establishing total personal control. Defense Minister Li Shangfu disappeared in 2023. His replacement, Dong Jun, already facing investigation rumors within just months. He Weidong from the Central Military Commission, suicide rumors, Zhang Shengmin, resignation speculation, one after another falling. Analysts estimate up to 15 top generals removed in just the past 2 years. This is systematic elimination. Anyone who might challenge Xi, anyone with independent power base, anyone who questions his decisions, they're all being removed. This creates a terrifying dynamic. The military leadership is being replaced with absolute loyalists who will never question orders. Now here's something really strange that happened. After Zhang disappeared, the PLA Daily went silent about Xi. The PLA Daily is the military's official newspaper. It's supposed to constantly express loyalty to the supreme leader. But for about 10 days after January 19th, when Zhang disappeared, the newspaper published nothing supporting Xi. Completely silent. This is completely unprecedented. It's like the Pentagon's newspaper suddenly refusing to mention the president. Think about that. When they finally did publish something, the language was incredibly weak. Not "we firmly support," but "we should support." Feel that difference? It's the difference between "I've got your back" and "I guess I'll help you." Massive change. One phrase they used was "Huan Yu Chong Sheng," changing feathers. The character for feather looks like Xi's name. Some analysts think this was subtle protest. Change the feathers means change the leader. Hidden criticism right in official newspaper. Analysts described it like employees giving reluctant applause when the boss demands it. Going through motions but not really meaning it, the support level went from 100 to maybe 10. In a system like China's, that's basically mutiny. So either the military is terrified to show full support, or they're deliberately staging a slowdown. Either way, big trouble. So let's put all the pieces together. What's really happening inside China's power structure right now? A letter surfaces claiming Xi has lost the trust of his top generals. Real or fake, people believe it. Massive military purges removing anyone who might challenge Xi. 15 top generals gone in 2 years, all replaced with loyalists. The military's official newspaper showing weak support for Xi. Unprecedented silence followed by reluctant, minimal endorsement. Xi wanting to invade Taiwan. Generals saying it would be national suicide. Complete strategic disagreement at the top. A leader increasingly isolated. Forcing loyalty through fear. Creating a personality cult exactly like North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This is a system eating itself from the inside. Xi consolidating total power while alienating the very people he needs. Can you rule a military that secretly hates you? Can you win a war when your generals think it's suicide? Zhang's letter asks, can a leader who's lost his military actually conduct a war? That's the terrifying question. Or does the fear of losing power drive Xi to even more extreme actions? More purges, more paranoia, more dangerous decisions? A cornered leader is always the most dangerous kind of leader, and Xi Jinping looks more cornered every single day. The letter mentions Xi watched a 5-hour video of General Su Kingxian's trial, the general who refused to massacre students in 1989. Zhang says he cried all night for that brave general, a soldier who threw away everything rather than shoot his own people. That's who Zhang sees himself as, someone refusing to follow orders that would destroy his country, even if it costs everything. So where does this leave us? Zhang Youxia is gone, possibly imprisoned, possibly worse. We don't know. His letter, real or fabricated, has exposed fractures inside China's power structure that can't be hidden anymore. The military doesn't trust Xi. Xi doesn't trust the military. Both sides preparing for something, but what exactly? Is this the beginning of the end for Xi's regime? Or will he crack down even harder, becoming even more authoritarian? The cracks are showing, and in systems like China's, cracks can turn into earthquakes incredibly fast. One thing is certain, we're watching a power struggle at the very top of the world's second most powerful country. And whatever happens next will affect not just China, but Taiwan, America, and the entire balance of power in Asia. Zhang's final words in the letter, I have a clear conscience. History will judge, the people will remember. Whether he wrote those words or someone wrote them for him, they capture something real happening inside China today. So what do you think? Is China heading for a crisis? Is Xi's grip on power as strong as it looks? That's the story of Zhang Youxia's letter today. Thanks for listening. Stay curious, friend. See you next time.